right. Get ready to head on off to the Power Metal Patriots home. Start this work day. Got another special surprise or guest today. We're getting an early start because we're going to meet up with the mayor of Power Metal Patriots home. I love saying it because I love telling them it's self-proclaimed. But George West. Talked to him a little on an episode last week, and we're going to go back today and we're going to talk to him, you know, because the guy that y'all seen the other day or the other video, you seen that chipper George, or that George in great spirit, George West that knows he has a purpose, that George West that expecting great things from God in his life. But George wasn't always like that. So on this episode of The Preacher and the Breacher, Riding with Purpose, we're going to go to the Power Metal Patriots home, and we're going to talk to George again and let him tell y'all about that when he wasn't this way, full of faith and full of joy and full of those things. But we're gonna let him tell it in his own words. And I thank God for George, because he wants to do this. He wanted to do this. He want to share with people that like what he's getting ready to share to y'all about. He want to help people. He want to let people know that even though things coming into your life that you're not expecting or want, that you can still go on. You can still even thrive and even do better than you did before. Maybe not physically, but most importantly, spiritually. So we're going to go on to the Power Metal Patriots home, and we'll get back with you there. Back with another episode of The Preacher and the Breacher. Got the mayor, self-proclaimed, but nah, he was given that title. Mayor of Power Metal Patriots home, George West. We're doing another grounding session with George West. And he got me being crazy today. I'm gonna get out here and ground with him. But actually, I was grounding pretty good when he told me about it for a good, well, how many months maybe?
For a while.
Yeah, for a while. Then those 5:30 mornings, man. Cause we were doing
and then it got cold.
Yeah, that's what it was. It got cold, man. That was too much. That was too much. One second. I know y'all saying at first the guy chopping off his head, now he's walking off camera. But you get to see me and George.
Yeah.
You know, for me, though, I think our feet look pretty good.
Yeah.
Banged and beat up.
Yeah, very good.
I might need a pedicure. But this to do. Well, George, what we're going to ask you to talk about, first I want to say thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
Because I know that's one of your motivations in life now, you know, to give back. And because what I want to talk about today is people see this side of you. They see the cheerful, full of faith, full of purpose, ambition, writing a book, and all these other things. But you wasn't always like this.
Oh, no.
All right, so if you will, just share to us a little bit about that George West when you had your different health issues.
Yeah. Then first, like when I had my strokes, the first 3 years of mad at everybody, mad at God, mad at everything. 'Cause all the time felt sorry for myself. All the time, it's like, why me? And then after, it took like 3 years, and then after I tried to kill myself with that cord wrapped around my neck. I woke up.
Good morning.
I woke up the next day, my brother was there with me, and they put me back in my bed, and I was unconscious then, and I woke up the next day thinking, well, I must be here for a reason. So I turned it around, tried to turn it around. Yeah, I mean, you can be mad about all kind of stuff, but like in the military, adapt and overcome,
That's right.
So that's what we're trying to do, adapt and overcome.
There you go. You're doing a great job at it. Well, let me ask you this. So, how long has it been since?
It's been 17 years. Yeah.
Now, when do you think you made the? Because I like to say, I know you said you weren't able to move or do anything.
Yeah.
So when did you start making I guess, started with the results that you're getting now?
Probably about 2 years ago.
Oh, really? Okay, so
Yeah.
you have been that way, but gradually,
Yeah.
15 years. But then on that 15 years, because you're saying 2 years ago. So what made the difference between those 2 years and those 15 years?
Well, I could bend my leg, the back of my leg working, and my arm was working, and my hand working a little bit,
Right. So when did your mindset change to say, hey, to get you to where you are now?
Probably uh, 30, 14 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I couldn't do nothing. Like a new therapy was a focal point to everywhere I've ever been, but I was like, who cares? I can't do anything anyway. But within the last couple of years, I've been able to lift weights or try and work out.
You almost had a full gym.
Yeah.
In your room. But I seen the determination, man. But you know, so how do you think faith played a part?
Oh, definitely, faith plays a big part in it. Whenever you feel like you can't carry on,
Mm-hmm.
you think you know you're empowered.
Mm-hmm.
You're you have with your faith. You think about God
Mm-hmm.
in your lowest point, and you go keep going. You know you can rely on Jesus. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because He's always there with you. So, uh, and it's motivating to
Mm-hmm.
me,
Yeah.
to know that you can rely on God when everything else seems weary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can call on Jesus.
Right. Yeah. It's important. Well, because I seen, when I came here, started as a chaplain, I seen before I seen what I'm seeing here. I seen you growing in faith. I seen, you even when we used to meet first thing in the morning, I was the one doing the prayer. But man, you started praying, you lead the prayer.
Yeah.
And I seen you doing those things, and you also have prayed in chapel meetings, and I just started seeing that prayer, seeing you grow from there, and then I started seeing your mindset change. You started listening to different things on, I guess, YouTube or wherever you watching those motivational things.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I know for a fact, like you just said, it was your faith, man, that's getting you to this point. But let me ask you, what do you hope to achieve for people with your story?
Uh, well, first of all, but like people to know that God is there for them,
Mm-hmm.
and if I can battle back from uh, adversity, then anybody can. You
Yeah.
just have to believe, I mean, yeah, if I can do it,
Yeah.
anybody
Because I
can
know
do
we
it.
do have revivals here, and we're gonna start in June. We have a full week where we have our different lay ministers here. I don't do the preacher during revival, because our motto here is everybody got a purpose, everybody got a gift and a talent, and it doesn't have an age limit or ability limit. So if God gave you a gift and you're gonna use it, well, you'll have the opportunity to use it until He call you home here. So we have revivals here. We let the lay minister or ministers do the ministering throughout that week, and we have testimony, an old-fashioned testimony, because most of the time we'll set up a tent and we'll call it old-fashioned tent revival. But in those revivals, this guy right here, he give his testimony, and it really resonate with the different veterans here because, you know, all of them, and including the staff, we have our own struggles. And I, some of it's obvious, and some of you can't see. But when George give his testimonies and others like George, and that's what I love about the place, cause each person here don't mind sharing, their struggles because it helps motivate one another. But like I said, George a big factor in that, and I just thank you for just being willing to share those testimonies. And another thing I'm gonna say about Georgia, now I'll let him have a few moments or whatever to to wrap it up, because last time, when the sprinkles come on, George said his goal is to get out the way of the sprinklers.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that George, like I said, he got big dreams, big visions that God has given him. And one of them gonna be, like I say, I don't know what he gonna name it or call it, but he making steps for having, his own sessions like this. And I call it grounding with George West. That way when he out here grounding, that he's been faithful with, that he can, be on his Facebook page that he now has, or a YouTube channel that he's gonna get, that he'll, share things. So we're not gonna let him tell it all with us, but I know he got a lot of great things he can share, but stay tuned for that. Because this man is on the move for God. He's utilizing every gift. He's utilizing every talent that God has given him, and he's setting that example. Okay, George. With that, anything you want to say to close it out?
You know, uh, when I think about it, you know, all the when I was growing up,
Mm-hmm.
played on the football team and wrestled and everything. And I wasn't no good, But I was thinking that, some of the guys were real talented, and they didn't have to work as hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking my gift
Mm-hmm.
from God is just discipline, because if I look at the other guys now, like I'm 57,
Mm-hmm.
them guys are, they done been through their prime already,
Right.
So they done fell off.
Mm-hmm.
And if they just stick with it,
Mm-hmm. Well, you reminded me of scripture where it says the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one who endures.
yeah.
And it takes discipline to endure.
Yeah.
And another thing just dropped off. I'm glad you said, you know, you just coming into your prime. At
Yeah.
57, you
Good.
coming into your prime, because you uniting both your physical, mental, and spiritual, coming together as one.
Yeah.
Because God leading you that way, and like I said, you more focused. From your own words, more focused and disciplined than you ever been in your whole life. And that's what you call getting in your prime, man. So you just begun.
Yeah. Good.
I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what the end. If I live to see it, I'm excited to see what the end gonna be, man. Because I'm telling you, I just see great things. Because I see it now.
Yeah.
And heck, you got me out here in front of the whole social
Yeah.
world, showing my feet.
Yeah, man.
But we thank you, though.
Oh, thank you.
All right, stay tuned. Round session with George West. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.